Welcome all of you to the orientation session for Daily Answer Writing and Mentorship Program, that is DAMP 2024. First of all, let me explain it that who are the target students or who are the students for whom this program will be most beneficial. The first, those students who are in the last phase of completion of their foundation program, so that once you have completed your foundation, you will start the answer writing in a disciplined manner, and in the next 3 months you shall be completing your revision as well as answer writing. Next, those students who have already completed their foundation program for mains 2024. So after you have completed your foundation program, it's but natural that for some time you feel like I should take rest, I should focus on GS, and then by March April I'll start preparing for my prelims. But the point is that unless you are ready for mains, there is no point giving prelims, because it is nothing like कि थोड़ा experience हो जाएगा, एक बार का experience. Ultimately you will be losing your attempts. So unless you are ready for mains, my advice is do not go for prelims. Okay, so for those students, this will be an opportunity to revise whole syllabus bit by bit, topic by topic, in a disciplined manner in the next 3 months, alongside writing few answer every day, getting them evaluated in case of doubt, discussing that with the faculty, and apart from that there shall be 2 full length tests. So after you have completed whole of paper 1, 1 full length, and then whole of paper 2, second full length, and then by December you shall be completing, and then by January or preferably February you can shift to your prelims preparation. Next is that set of students who have already completed their foundation program in for 2023 or 2022, but because they could not clear their prelims, they did not write answers. So naturally, once you have completed your foundation but you have not started answer writing, it is a thing of hesitation that you hesitate answer writing and then you keep on procrastinating. Again I would repeat, unless you are ready for mains, there is no point going for prelims. So for those students also, this program will be beneficial, that this will push you, this will encourage you, this will force you to write answers. Slowly you will improve, whatever doubts are there, those doubts will get answered, and ultimately you will be better prepared for 2024 attempt. Now for those students who have already done some answer writing or who have already written their mains, for them we have got our Ascent program. The difference is that there you shall have liberty that by 31st of March you can write your tests any day, get that evaluated, discuss, get the video discussion as well as answers. But here it is in a time bound manner. So here the focus is on enforcing discipline, but there it is at your liberty, at your comfort. In Ascent program, the quality of questions will be somewhat better. Reason being, there somewhat experienced students, they will be writing. So naturally you do not need to start from the basics. But here, since the students will be starting from the basics, so naturally if you get some standard questions in the very beginning, and if you face immense difficulty in attempting them, after 2, 3, 4 days or perhaps 2 weeks, you will be disheartened, you will be discouraged that I am not getting much marks, and perhaps you will stop writing answers. The purpose here is not to discourage but to encourage you. So naturally in the beginning the level of questions will be somewhat moderate, but by 3rd week, 4th week, when you have gained that confidence, naturally the level of questions will be somewhat similar to the this Ascent program level. Okay, so here gradually you shall be building from the foundation, from the base, but in the Ascent program already there is a base, and you will be working from there so that you can perform even better. Okay, so this is the basic of this program. Apart from that, you know the basic information that daily minimum 4 questions will be there, 2 questions for writing answers and submission, and rest 2 for practice. You shall be getting the answer content as well as video discussion, and then evaluation within 24 hours. That is the, and then weekly discussion with the mentor, that is me, that is your faculty. And apart from that, in case you have got any doubt, if you are living in ORN area, you can come to the institute, we can discuss. Or if you are away from Delhi, I shall be available on the phone, WhatsApp, Telegram, all these modes. Okay, so now let me go to some of the concerns or questions that will be coming to your mind during this program, and I shall be handling them beforehand only. Okay, so the first doubt is, I couldn't write today answer, I forgot all that I had read or I had revised. This is something that happens and that may happen to many of you. Even for the students who were going to write mains, from one of my students I did get the message कि सर कुछ याद नहीं आ रहा है, सब कुछ लग रहा है भूल गया हूँ. So you see, out of anxiety, out of pressure, this is something that happens, and that happens with most of students. Because of this, what you do कि ठीक है कल से करेंगे, परसों से करेंगे, I'll do from the next day, and that next day never comes. Ultimately, the program ends, and you could not get the intended benefit. My suggestion will be, even if you have forgotten everything, just start writing whatever you feel like. Let it be completely gibberish, at least write that. During the course of writing, you will feel as that suddenly you have started recollecting, suddenly you have started recalling what you had read. Then write that, and after 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, suddenly you will see that there is a qualitative improvement in your answers, and that is the purpose. The purpose here is to force you out of your comfort zone so that you are forced to write answers, and it is only by writing that we can improve. And there is a famous saying that I say to my students, that start by doing what is easy, then do what is possible, and suddenly you will be doing the impossible. Here funda remains same. Next question will be, I am taking 30 minutes to 1 hour in writing one answer. I know that all of you would have calculated that okay, 3 hours it means 10 marker this much time, 15 marker this much time, 20 marker this much time. But initially when you are writing answer, you are taking 30 minutes, 1 hour, even 2 hours. You see, that is perfectly fine. There is no point of concern regarding that, because with respect to answer writing, the point is that there are 3 phases, and I shall be discussing them in detail, but let me just explain it why it is but natural to take more time. The first is understanding the question demand. Second will be structuring the answer. And third will be content, that is writing. So you see, when you are doing this in the very beginning, naturally you might face challenge in understanding the question demand in reading just once or twice or thrice. So naturally when you have to read it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, naturally the time taken that will increase, right? So समय ज्यादा लग रहा है. उसके बाद क्या होगा? Then you have to go for structuring the answer. In the beginning, it may so happen that just like essay paper, you may have to take a piece of paper and then structure. Naturally, that will take even more time. So, time again has increased. Then, when you go for writing the answer after structuring, naturally, it was just your second revision or third revision. You might not be able to recall all that very quickly, very easily. So, naturally, this will again increase the time because you are taking time in recalling everything. But as the time passes by, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, naturally it will be much easier for you to understand the question because now you have developed that art, that skill, that practice. Then, regarding structuring, rather than structuring on a piece of paper, now you will be able to structure the answer in your brain itself. So naturally, time taken again got reduced. Then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, naturally, since you have revised the content multiple times, you will be easily able to collect and then interlink the ideas. So naturally, the time taken will further reduce. So naturally, in the beginning, the answer that were taking more than 1 hour to write, then suddenly it will come down to 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and even then naturally in 7 minutes, 8 minutes, you will start writing a 10 marker. So I hope you are very clear that how this is a progressive evolution, progressive work, rather than in one shot you are doing everything and you are writing a perfect answer. Okay, now this is 2 and 3rd are related, that how much time should I take to write the answer. There is in presently no time limit because you are in the beginning phase of your answer writing. So as I explained here, naturally the time taken will be much more. Now suppose you go for that rule that okay, I have to write 10 marker in 7 to 8 minutes, then perhaps in about 12 to 14 minutes, then 20 marker in 17 to 18 minutes, 20 minutes. What will happen that if you develop that habit in the very beginning itself that I have to stick to the time limit, naturally the quality of answer will be bad, it will be poor. And as you continue to do that for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, naturally you will develop a habit of writing within time but writing a average answer or a poor answer. So that is why I am saying that take more time in the beginning itself so that you develop a habit of writing a quality answer, a good answer, and going forward when you are more proficient, when you are more experienced, naturally the time taken is coming down, your writing speed has improved. So going forward, time will be managed but quality can be maintained from the very beginning itself. So do not bother about this. Next is, I am writing answer but there is no improvement in the answers or marks. You see, answers and marks are two different things. Same answers by two different people in two different circumstances naturally can get different marks. Okay, so there are different set of students. Some students, they pick things easily, so from the very first week itself they will start writing good answers. But some students, they are not so quick in picking, so it may so happen that they might take 2 weeks or 3 weeks in learning that skill or having that base. So naturally, do not compete with others. During means naturally compete with others because by then you have developed that skill. But here you have to compete with yourself and always focus that you have to compete with yourself and you have to better than what you were yesterday or day before yesterday. Rather than focusing on marks, focus on the comments that have been provided. Work on those comments. It is the comments on which your focus should be more rather than comparing the marks. As I said, same answers under two different circumstances may get two different marks, because again it is a human thing, it is not a mechanical thing. So humans under different impression, under different condition, they might look at things differently. So no bothering about marks, rather than that bother about your answers. But at the same time, if you are constantly getting low marks, I would suggest reach out to me. I'll look at your answer and I'll tell that okay, these are some of the mistakes that you are repeating constantly, you need to avoid them, and naturally you will see that your marks has shoot up. Next is, I couldn't upload the answer, can I send on WhatsApp, Telegram only this time? Since people have a habit of procrastination and they do not want to go out of their comfort zone, they will feel like कि चलो आज छूट गया, कोई बात नहीं, सर से कह देते हैं, अपलोड हो जाएगा. अपलोड नहीं होगा, मैं परमिट नहीं करूंगा. रीजन बीइंग, अगर मैंने एक बार आपको परमिट कर दिया, दूसरी बार करोगे, तीसरी बार करोगे, चौथी बार करोगे. So the purpose of inculcating or forcing that discipline, that will be defeated. Rather than that, my simple argument is that take this one missed opportunity as a lesson, so that you won't miss uploading your answer within the given time the very next time. Okay? And next is, please upload the topper's answer. This is also something I won't be doing, though there will be situations where I might be coming up with topper's answer. So not topper's answers, some of the answers to explain some of the common mistakes that you people will be doing, so as to tell you to avoid those mistakes. And regarding topper's answers, point is that most of you will be beginners. So whosoever has got maximum marks, naturally that person will also be making some mistake. And if I upload that answer, it means you all, there is a greater chance that you people will also start making the same mistake which I want to avoid. So as I said, here in DAMP, do not compete with others, rather compete with yourself. Try to minimize the mistakes, so naturally your marks will get maximized and slowly your marks will be more. Okay? And related to this one only, since the focus will be on looking at the mistakes or the pattern and talking to you in the answer discussion, it may so happen that the model answer or the answer structure that is being uploaded in the noon, but video discussion is being uploaded in the evening. Reason being, during the noon time I shall be going through the uploaded answers, looking at some of the mistakes, so that I can talk to you about them in the video discussion. Okay? So that is why there can be a delay, and this will be the purpose. Okay? So after this, let me discuss some of the common questions or common concerns related to PSIR answer writing. Okay? And this is not just about PSIR, any humanities answer. These are a set of questions that you might come across. There will be doubts. The very first thing is, should we prepare the introduction? Many a times by toppers or someone else कि कुछ इंट्रोडक्शन बना करके रख लो और रट लो. देखो, वो अगर बायलैटरल रिलेशंस का अगर है पेपर 2B, there it can be beneficial, because some of the questions can be of the static nature. For example, if question is related to India, China, question is related to India, Pakistan, India, USA, India, Russia, so normally they are all expensive. So एक generic intro चल जाएगा, उसके नीचे you start writing everything. But what if, for example, let us consider the question is about Hobbes. तो Hobbes के बारे में what can be the different dimensions? Hobbes as first modern thinker, right? Supporter of positive law. Next is Hobbes as absolutist. So suppose there are three or there can be more dimensions. So if there are three dimensions, question can be on any of one dimension. So if you are writing a generic introduction, do you think it will be addressing the question demand? The point is, by writing a generic intro, that okay, Hobbes is considered as the forerunner of, or Hobbes as the first modern thinker because he gave the idea of contractual theory of state, or he talked about the idea of state sovereignty. So if you're talking about that, that will work about Hobbes as a modern thinker because you are talking about idea of state sovereignty. But how is that linked to supporter of positive law? Or how is that linked to Hobbes as absolutist? So this is the difference between a generic intro and a specific intro. A specific intro targets the specific demand of the question. A generic intro that generally revolves around the individual or the idea, and then later on you go to the specifics. So for example, let us look at one of the copies that one of the students, she had put the answer. Let me go to that. Look at this question. This is one of the PYQs and she had sent me. Covenant without swords are but words and of no strength to secure a man at all. What is the introduction given? Hobbes as first modern thinker, something I said just now. Hobbes as first modern thinker who has given the theory of state sovereignty by methodology of social contract. This is basically the gist of Hobbes, why Hobbes is so much important. But just tell me, and next she writes, his main concern is about security of life, choose fear as the basis of authority. So if the question was about Hobbes as an absolutist, naturally this would have been an apt introduction. But how is this linked to Hobbes talking about covenants without swords are nothing but words? This is a generic introduction about Hobbes, but is this focused on specific demand of the question? The answer is no. The demand of question is very specific. What it is? It talks about, mainly it is about criticism of natural rights or natural law and support for positive law, right? So suppose rather than writing this introduction, had I given an introduction that in the given statement Hobbes has gone for criticizing the natural law because of absence of enforceability and his support for positive law, that is law defined by the state. So what are we doing here? We are giving the gist of the meaning of Hobbes' statement. So if you are writing this introduction, it means the examiner has understood that you know the gist of the question. So naturally whatever you will be writing, he will be sure that you will be writing the right thing and it becomes easier and you shall be getting more marks. And that is why, while looking at this introduction, I did not say that this is a wrong intro, but this is a generic intro which you can write in most of the Hobbes answers. So this is something that we shall be doing, that how we can shift from a generic introduction to a specific introduction, so that not a single line written is out of context. Because as UPSC itself says, that rather than length, it is the content, it is the relevance that matters the most. So we shall be writing the answers which will be most relevant, more specific, and less generic stuff. Okay. So next will be do I have sufficient content? One of my students, he had this concern. So what he would do, initially he would write something generic just in order to fill the pages, and in the last क्रैम्पिंग विल स्टार्ट कि छोटे छोटे में लिख करके सब कुछ को फिनिश कर दो. उसमें दिक्कत क्या आती है, एग्जामिनर ने पढ़ना स्टार्ट किया, शुरुआत में ही उसे लगा कि यार इसने तो काफ़ी कुछ जेनरिक लिख रखा है, ही इज नॉट एड्रेसिंग द क्वेश्चंस डिमांड, आपके मार्क्स वहाँ पे कम हो गए. फिर लास्ट में जब आपके पास स्पेस नहीं बचा, you are unable to focus on demand of every segment of the question. So again, answering every segment that got compromised. नीचे में since you are cramping up, naturally the presentation part got compromised. As a result, your marks gets reduced. So that is why my advocacy for even those students who have not read foundation from me is that trust your content. If you feel like there is a lack of content, it might just be a phobia, because you do not have to write much, 2 pages, 3 pages, at the max 4 pages, and moreover there is so much interconnectedness of thought. So that is why you will always have sufficient content. However, if on any specific topic you feel like you lack content, show it to me, show some of the answers. If I say that there is a lack of content rather than lack of understanding, then it will be my duty to provide you with that additional content so that this doubt gets addressed. But do not bring in this doubt in the very beginning itself, irrespective of where you have studied from, whether self-study or at some other institute, some other teacher. Trust your sources and try to develop that understanding rather than going for data collection. Okay. Next, should we give subheadings? Generally, it is said that okay, you write here in paragraph format, do not break it, do not go for subheads. But you see, when you look at the newspaper articles, do those articles write subheads? The answer is yes. Then what is wrong in giving subheads here? And the benefit of subhead is you are telling that examiner that okay, in this portion I have discussed this thing. It becomes easy for the examiner, examiner's life becomes easy, examiner is happy, and he replies his happiness in terms of perhaps half marks more, 1 mark more, 1.5 mark more, and that creates a lot of difference in the UPSC exam. You know it very well. Next is, can we answer in points? And because in GS generally people write in points. Writing in point, there is a benefit that you have to be very much precise and you have more content. But if you go for writing in point format in PSIR, the thing is that you will get exposed, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपके पास कहानी बनाने का स्कोप बहुत कम हो जाता है. आप एक्सपोज हो जाओगे, आपको लगेगा कि अब क्या लिखें. नहीं तो दिक्कत क्या होगी कि आइडियाज का रिपीटिशन स्टार्ट हो जाता है. दैट इज समथिंग वी डू नॉट हैव टू डू. लेकिन सपोज क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट क्रेडो ऑफ रेलेवेंस, इंटेलेक्चुअल फाउंडेशन स्टोन्स ऑफ बिहेवियरलिज्म, तो ऐसे में क्या करोगे कि आप पॉइंट फॉर्मेट में आप नहीं लिखोगे. या फिर यू आर बीइंग आस्क्ड अबाउट पंचशील, उसके 5 पॉइंट्स. सो it has to be a mix of point as well as paragraph. But in 10 markers, if it is possible for you, since you have to write 2 pages only, wherever possible try to write in point format so that you are awarded better marks. and moreover in PSIR some argument we give, then we substantiate. Argument, substantiation. So this argument and substantiation that works well in a paragraph format rather than a point format. Otherwise you simply cannot make example as a new point. Or suppose a question is about enumeration, go for 1 2 3 4, what is the problem? So try कि एक पॉइंट और पैराग्राफ दोनों का मिक्स रहे, जहां पे भी पॉसिबल है पॉइंट दो, सब हेड दो, सो दैट वो क्या होता है आपके आंसर के स्ट्रक्चर को एनहांस कर देता है और बहुत ज्यादा अननेसेसरी चीजें लिखने से आप बच जाते हो. और पर्टिकुलरली इफ यू टॉक अबाउट इंडिया एंड द वर्ल्ड पेपर 2 पार्ट बी, नेचुरली गो फॉर सब हेड्स. वहां सब हेड्स देने से आपका काम बहुत ज्यादा आसान हो जाएगा. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज हाउ टू कंक्लूड एन आंसर. ये बहुतों को दिक्कत होती है. तो देखो कंक्लूजन के बारे में कुछ एडवाइस है, बाकी तो ड्यूरिंग द प्रोग्राम वी शैल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट इट. तो देखो अगर बात है कंक्लूजन के रिगार्डिंग, फर्स्ट सजेशन इज डू नॉट ब्रिंग एनी न्यू आइडिया. क्योंकि ऊपर में आप जो बातें करते आ रहे हो अचानक आपने एक नया आइडिया ला दिया, नहीं करना है ये, और ये ऐसे में भी नहीं करना होता. उसके अलावा इट हैज टू बी पॉजिटिव, इट हैज टू बी फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग एंड यू मस्ट नॉट रिजेक्ट द क्वेश्चन. अगर रिजेक्ट करना भी है तो देयर इज अ डिफरेंट वे, देयर इज अ माइल्ड वे, वो हम देख लेंगे. उसके अलावा क्या है कि यहां पे है ना, इट हैज टू बी पॉजिटिव फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग. ठीक है, समथिंग आई सेड यू जस्ट नाउ. और देखो तीसरा जो है कि क्या डाल सकते हैं इसमें, वन थिंग दैट यू कैन टॉक अबाउट इज रेलेवेंस. Relevance is, for example, if you talk about Hobbes' idea of justice, so despite the criticism by communitarians, Hobbes' idea of justice became the emergence of idealism or re-emergence of idealism in the political theory, or Hobbes became the stepping stone for the thinkers like Dworkin and Sen to enhance their own idea of justice to make society more just or more equal. या फिर सेकंड क्या हो सकता है, प्रेजेंट डे और प्रेजेंट कंटेक्स्ट. सपोज क्वेश्चन है फासिज्म के ऊपर, आपने पूरा ऊपर से लिखते आए, अब कंक्लूड कैसे करना है. तो रेलेवेंस तो है, उसके कंटेक्स्ट में, उस समय के कंटेक्स्ट में हम लिख सकते हैं, रेलेवेंस हम आज के कंटेक्स्ट में भी लिख सकते हैं. दैट इन प्रेजेंट टाइम्स व्हेन वी आर लुकिंग एट इमर्जेंस ऑफ राइट, पॉपुलिस्ट पार्टीज और पॉपुलिस्ट लीडर्स एट देन थियरीज लाइक दिस विल हेल्प अस इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड प्रिवेंटिंग एनी एफर्ट और अटेम्प्ट टुवर्ड्स री इमर्जेंस ऑफ फासिज्म. ऐसे करके खत्म हो गया. या तीसरा, किसी दूसरे गवर्नमेंट का अगर वैसा प्रोग्राम है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट रॉल्स आइडिया ऑफ जस्टिस, एफॉर्मेटिव एक्शन, कुछ भी, तो गिव रेफरेंस ऑफ सो मेनी एग्जांपल्स आर देयर. अगर आप बात करोगे इंडिया का जो रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम है, दैट डज रिफ्लेक्ट द सेम आइडिया. तो इस तरह से करके आप कंक्लूड कर दो, और बाकी ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ दिस प्रोग्राम नेचुरली वी शैल बी डिस्कसिंग दिस. ठीक है. नाउ आई होप दिस हैज बीन डिस्कस सफिशिएंटली. अब आते हैं नेक्स्ट पार्ट पर, दैट इज अबाउट आंसर राइटिंग. So you see, as I said in the beginning itself, that answer writing basically it is a 4-stage or 4-layered thing. The very first thing is you already have the desired content and you have already read. This is something that we have assumed. ठीक है. तो सबसे पहली बात क्या पड़ जाती है, when you read a question, it is the most critical thing is that you have to understand the question demand. If you do not understand the demand, point is that you will deviate from the demand, you will write something else, and in the end you will be penalized for that. जैसे कि I have got a answer sheet. I'll show you that. Look at this question. The question is, critically examine Macpherson's view on democracy, 10 mark. I think you might have some sort of quality, but just look at, I am just talking about understanding the question demand and how you generally tend to miss the question demand. Okay, so question is about critical examination of Macpherson's view on democracy. So what should be the ideal answer? That what was Macpherson's view on democracy, its relevance, basically criticism, etc. So what this student has written is that democracy is a government of the people, Abraham Lincoln, a generic introduction of democracy. Then Macpherson is a proponent of radical democracy. चलो rather than ये चलो, since this is a quote चलेगा. उसके बाद she came at Macpherson. Then he belongs to critical liberal, वही है proponent of radical democracy, और फिर से रिपीटिशन आ गया critical liberal egalitarian. रेडिकल डेमोक्रेसी लिख दिया, क्यों एक ही चीज को बार बार लिखना. उसके आगे क्या लिखा है, हिज थियरीज ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, क्लासिकल है, कंटेम्पररी है, एलिटिस्ट, प्लूरलिस्ट, मतलब पूरे का पूरा नोट को कॉपी इन्होंने कर दिया है. क्लासिकल थियरी में क्या है, कंटेम्पररी थियरी में क्या है. उसके आगे इन्होंने क्या लिख रखा है कि मैकफर्सन हैज अटैक्ड. हाँ, तो देखो अब मेरे को ये बताओ कि दिस इज मैकफर्सन्स व्यू ऑन डेमोक्रेसी, दिस इज नॉट मैकफर्सन्स थियरी ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. लेकिन चूंकि आपने नोट्स में पढ़ रखा है, आप ये सारी चीजों को लिख दोगे. इन्होंने मैकफर्सन्स थियरी ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी देखो कहां पे लिखा है. अगर हम और आगे चलें, यहां पे भी नहीं, यहां पे भी, यहां से इन्होंने लिखना स्टार्ट किया है कि मैकफर्सन हैज अटैक्ड एलिटिस्ट प्लूरलिस्ट. ठीक है. ही रिवाइव्ड मोरालिटी इन डेमोक्रेसी. ठीक है. उसके बाद यहां पे ही हैज बीन क्रिटिसाइज्ड एज आइडियलिस्ट बाय नॉर्मन बेरी. तो कुल मिलाकर जो क्वेश्चन का कोर डिमांड था मैकफर्सन्स थियरी ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, वो तो आपने सिर्फ इतना ही लिखा. फिर आपने ये तो नहीं लिख, यू हैव नॉट रिटन दिस, that the way he says that the western nations or liberal democracies, liberal nations or western nations, they cannot have monopoly over democracy. How he has said that even third world nations can be democratic. How he has said that even socialist nations can be democratic. How he says that democracy means no one should have coercive power over anyone, everyone should have developmental power. तो ये सब आपने नहीं लिखा है, बट उसके अलावा आपने सब कुछ लिख दिया है. इफ यू लुक एट इट नॉर्मली यू विल सी कि यार सब कुछ तो लिख रखा है, क्योंकि सवाल मैकफर्सन से इधर उधर नहीं गया है. बट क्वेश्चन ये नहीं है, क्वेश्चन इज नॉट कि व्हाट इज डिस्कस मैकफर्सन्स आइडियाज ऑन डेमोक्रेसी, ये सवाल नहीं है. क्वेश्चन इज मैकफर्सन्स थियरी ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. सो दीज आर ऑल मैकफर्सन्स थियरी. ऊपर थोड़ा सा इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद आप ये सारी चीजें लिखते, नीचे में आप क्रिटिसिज्म जाते. उसके अलावा एक और मैं आपको दिखाता हूं, पहला वाला ही, कि किस तरह से यू सिंपली मिस आउट ऑन द डिमांड. एंड ऑल दिस इज PYQ. जैसे आप इसे देखो, ओके ठीक है, प्लीज बेयर विथ मी. Question is, explain Aristotelian view of politics. To what extent do you think that he has contributed to modern day of constitutional democracy? Let us look at the first part only. Aristotelian view on politics. इन्होंने क्या किया है? यहाँ तो ठीक है, his view on politics. In his view book Politics, he has studied 158. ठीक है, तीन तरह का गवर्नमेंट. Then he has suggested polity, though polity, so rather than talking about politics, इनका फोकस पूरे का पूरा पॉलिटी पर रह गया है. So when you are talking about Aristotelian view of politics, politics is all encompassing idea. So his views like participation, his views like justice, his views like citizenship, his views like written constitution, because he says that law is reason without passion. So rather than treating it very normally, very narrowly, you have to discuss it in much detail. And when you talk about how it has contributed to modern democracy, so वही सारा लिखा हुआ है. Supported constitutionalism over rule of philosopher king, ये छोटा सा पोर्शन है, इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं थी. यहाँ पे जैसे कि रूल ऑफ लॉ, हाँ देखो यहाँ पे यहाँ से इन्होंने स्टार्ट कर दिया कि हिज कंट्रीब्यूशन लेज डाउन द फाउंडेशन ऑफ मॉडर्न डे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डेमोक्रेसी. सो व्हेन ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट रूल ऑफ लॉ, चलो ठीक है, एरिस्टोटल व्हाट ही वाज द फर्स्ट पर्सन हु वाज टॉक्ड अबाउट. सो वी कैन से दैट व्हेन ही सेज दैट लॉ इज रीजन विदाउट पैशन, हिज स्टडी ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस, so we can say that he was the first person who talked about the idea of constitutionalism. फिर इनका क्या है, उनका जो कंसेप्ट ऑफ इक्वलिटी है उसे क्या है, हमें इसे दूसरे केस में डालना पड़ेगा बाय लिंकिंग इट टू अफर्मेटिव एक्शन. या फिर जैसे थियरी ऑफ सिटीजनशिप इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, then the ideas like deliberative democracy, participatory democracy, because he says that citizenship does not mean mere presence within a territory, it is about having active participation in the functions of the state or the city state. तो ये सारी चीजें आप लिखोगे तो अपने आप आपका जो है ना आंसर और ज्यादा रिलेवेंट हो जाएगा. देखो यहाँ पे डेमोक्रेसी एंड पार्टिसिपेटरी क्रिटिसिज्म, डेमोक्रेसी साउंड वर्स्ट फॉर्म ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट वगैरह वगैरह. रादर देन दिस आप लिख देते, ये एक है रिगार्डिंग द वे ही रिजेक्ट्स, सो दैट इज व्हाई इट कैन नॉट बी टर्म्ड एज अ रेफरेंस. हाउएवर हिज focus on participatory role, focus on deliberative role, that is something that can be seen in present day context. ओके उसके अलावा बाकी नीचे तो है थोड़ा थोड़ा क्रिटिसाइज करने का. सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू फोकस. इसीलिए मैं कहूंगा 3 बार 4 बार 5 बार पढ़ो, एक एक कीवर्ड को पढ़ो. अगर वहां पे सवाल पॉलिटी रहता, अलग चीज रहती, तब आप सिर्फ पॉलिटी की बात करते. इसका जो अरिस्टोटल का जो सेकंड बेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है, आई मीन पॉलिटी द बेस्ट फॉर्म, जो प्लेटो का सेकंड बेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है. सो दैट इज वाई आई से कि 3 बार 4 बार पढ़ो और एक एक कीवर्ड के मुताबिक आंसर्स लिखो. वो हो गया. फिर क्या है, नेक्स्ट इज structuring the answer. So once you have read a question, focus on each part of it and then you have to structure it. I have got some PYQs and let me show that to you. हाँ देखो, जैसे कि एरिस्टोटल वाला तो अभी हमने देख लिया, उसके आगे हम किसे डिस्कस करें. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट अस टॉक अबाउट सेकेंड वन ओनली, कोवेनेंट without swords. Why he is talking about covenant without swords? Because ultimately when we were talking about natural law, प्रॉब्लम क्या है, लॉ तो उस समय भी था लेकिन नेचुरल लॉ इट लैक्स एनफोर्समेंट. So when he is talking about sword, it means actually he is talking about some authority which can enforce it. So that is why he says that they are just words and of no strength to secure a man at all. So he says that when you are talking about natural law, ultimately law was there, but since there is no enforcing authority, ultimately it makes no sense, and that is why it was a situation of war of all against all, and human life it was nasty, poor, brutish and short, right, in the state of nature. तो अब हमें यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट अस ट्राई टू फोकस ऑन द डिमांड एंड स्ट्रक्चर द आंसर. सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे, वी विल टॉक अबाउट, पहली बात रिलेवेंस. तो रिलेवेंस क्या है, लेट मी गो हियर. सबसे पहले इंट्रोडक्शन में नॉट रिलेवेंस बट कंटेक्स्ट. कंटेक्स्ट क्या है, हिज क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ नेचुरल लॉ. ठीक है. देन when we start the body part, here you will explain that why he criticizes. Natural law. उसके बाद अपन क्या लिखेंगे, उसके बाद सपोर्ट फॉर पॉजिटिव लॉ और स्टेट मेड लॉज. ठीक है, बिकॉज देयर इज पावर ऑफ एनफोर्समेंट एंड एज ए रिजल्ट ही गिव्स एब्सोल्यूट अथॉरिटी टू द एंड देन चूंकि ये हो रखा है, इसके आगे हम बात कर सकते हैं ना क्रिटिसिज्म, क्योंकि द वे मैकफर्सन हैज सेड दैट ही स्टार्ट्स एज एन इंडिविजुअलिस्ट बट एंड्स एज एन एब्सोल्यूटिस्ट. ठीक है, या फिर उसकी जगह रादर देन वी कैन ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट लॉक, दैट ऑन द अदर हैंड लॉक हैज गिवन primacy to the natural law over positive law because of in his state of nature it was a situation of bliss. तो इस तरह से हमें स्ट्रक्चर करना है rather than everything that is in our notes, everything that we know. अब देखो अगला सवाल क्या है, ये देखो, इंडिविजुअलिज्म इज इनहेरेंट इन हॉब्स एब्सोल्यूटिस्ट आइडियोलॉजी. ये क्या है, ये अगेन सेबाइन का डिफेंस है अगेंस्ट मैकफर्सन्स क्रिटिसिज्म. तो अगर आपको ये याद है तो आप तो ये लिख दोगे, दिस इज डिफेंस ऑफ हॉब्स फ्रॉम मैकफर्सन्स क्रिटिसिज्म, वो आप दे दोगे कि व्हाट इज द कंटेक्स्ट. या फिर सपोज करो कि अपन को कंटेक्स्ट याद नहीं है, but still we are talking that how in Hobbesian theory, though Hobbes talks about an absolute state, ultimately it is about individualism, that is for the protection of individual. तो यहां पे कैसे हमें स्टार्ट करना है, यहां पे we will start by explaining, क्योंकि अगेन यहां पे हमें कंटेक्स्ट याद नहीं है. ठीक है, we will start by explaining about Hobbes' absolutism, that he gives absolute authority or absolute power to the state. उसके बाद हम बात करेंगे why does he give. तो आप बात करोगे स्टेट ऑफ नेचर, वॉर, ऑल अगेंस्ट ऑल, उसके बाद फॉर सेल्फ प्रिजर्वेशन, ही टॉक गिव्स एब्सोल्यूट। और इसके बाद सेबाइन ने कह रखा है कि अल्टीमेटली द फोकस ऑफ गिविंग एब्सोल्यूट पावर टू द स्टेट वाज इन ऑर्डर टू प्रोटेक्ट और प्रिजर्व द इंडिविजुअल, and that is why he says that if the state is unable to protect the individual, then the individual can go against the state itself. Hence ultimately in Hobbes we see that the greater focus was on protection of individualism, and because of that he gives absolute power to the state. So ये देख लो, दिस इज हाउ द फ्लो ऑफ थॉट शुड बी। और जब आप इस तरह का एक फ्लो बनाते हो ना, इट विल फील लाइक यू आर टेलिंग अ स्टोरी, एंड स्टोरी पढ़ते 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 अचानक स्टोरी खत्म हो गई। एग्जामिनर विल बी हैप्पी, एग्जामिनर विल गिव यू बेटर मार्क्स। ओके, अब देखते हैं अगला पॉइंट क्या है। और बाकी देखो, बाकी ये सारी चीजें तो नेचुरली वी शैल बी डिस्कसिंग इन द ड्यू कोर्स ऑफ द प्रोग्राम, so that there is nothing to be concerned about. Next is content of the answer. So naturally, when you have read, when you have revised, then focus on the content, or content में focus on the specific content, and if you have got examples, try to put in one or two. और कितनी बार when you are new to the discipline, आप interconnecting ideas of completely different, completely out of context idea, you simply start writing. Here I shall also make sure कि इस तरह की आपसे कोई भी गलती ना हो, ठीक है ना। तो देखो, कंटेंट कहां आकर जरूरत पड़ती है, तीसरे स्टेज में। रीजन बीइंग, you do not have to write a 8 or 10 page answer, that you need to know a lot. Even if you know the basics, bare minimum, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली 2 से 3 से 4 पेजेस और हर एक में ठीक है, इंट्रो हो गया, आइडिया क्या है, क्रिटिसिज्म क्या है, रेलेवेंस क्या है, इतने में तो 1.5 पन्ना ऐसे ही हो जाता है। अगर क्वेश्चन का एक और पार्ट है, देन 1 more page, and ultimately your demand is being satisfied. So that is why I say just don't bother, rather than bothering about the content, try to understand, and once you have understood, then you will see that it becomes much more easier to write answers, and that is my guarantee, because I have seen it among my students, among this mains test series students. You can ask from anyone. Next comes presentation, though this is very important, but ये तीनों में से ये किसी को रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता। अगर आपका सिर्फ प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा है और ये तीनों गड़बड़ है ना, नंबर नहीं मिलेंगे। Because only if you have written relevant and then it is more presentable, तो उससे क्या होगा, अल्टीमेटली थोड़े मार्क्स बेहतर मिल जाएंगे। और उसी प्रेजेंटेशन के रिगार्डिंग आई हैव गॉट सम अदर सजेशंस, लाइक when you talk about can we give subhead, so if you have given subhead, it means what? Ultimately it means that you are making it more presentable, making your answer more visible, different segments of the answer more visible. So आप अगर कहीं पॉइंट में लिख रहे हो, कहीं पे सब हेडिंग दे रहे हो, so naturally this makes your answer more presentable. And apart from that, one more suggestion would be that try to have a pen जिससे कि थोड़ा डार्क लिखा जाए। And then दिक्कत हो रही है, try maintaining space between two lines, because प्लेन पेपर होता है, आप चिपकाते रहते हो, वो दिखने में बहुत बुरा लगता है। आप थोड़ा स्पेस करके लिखोगे, एक तो कंटेंट कम लगेगा, ऊपर से विजिबिलिटी इंप्रूव हो जाती है, ज्यादा अच्छा दिखता है, ठीक है। उसके अलावा क्या करना है कि सपोज दिस इज अ कॉपी, एंड दिस आई हैव सजेस्टेड टू मेनी, एंड दिस इज प्योरली साइकोलॉजिकल। ये है, आप सपोज करो आप लिखते आ रहे हो, लिखते आ रहे हो, लिखते आ रहे हो, और यहाँ पे आपका पैराग्राफ खत्म हुआ। डू नॉट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर, रादर देन दैट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर। कारण क्या है कि आप कितना भी क्लोज लिखो, अगर आपने कोई एक पैराग्राफ को यहाँ से स्टार्ट किया है, इट मीन्स नेचुरली टू द एग्जामिनर ही विल थिंक कि ओके दिस इज ए न्यू पैराग्राफ। लेकिन अगर आप यहीं से लिखना स्टार्ट कर देते हो तो एक हो सकता है एग्जामिनर को यहाँ से लगे कि नहीं यार शायद इसी पैराग्राफ का कंटिन्यूएशन है, वो देखेगा इतना बड़ा पैराग्राफ कौन लिखता है, एंड मामला बिगड़ जाएगा। एंड ट्राई टू मेक स्मॉल पैराग्राफ्स, चाहे इंट्रोडक्शन हो चाहे कंक्लूजन हो, पैराग्राफ छोटा बनाओ, फ्रीक्वेंट पैराग्राफ चेंज करो, क्योंकि पैराग्राफ जब चेंज होता है ना देन एग्जामिनर टेंड्स टू थिंक कि ओके अब कुछ नया आएगा, अब कोई नई बात आएगी। ठीक है, so learn how to break a paragraph and make a new paragraph. That is also something that we shall be working on. Okay, so that was some of the suggestions, some of the guidelines related to answer writing. This was just the theory part. In the due course of the syllabus, program, we shall be discussing this in practice, practically, कि कैसे आप अपने आंसर को फर्दर इम्प्रूव कर सकते हो। जो भी डाउट रहेगा प्लीज ब्रिंग दैट टू मी, आई शैल बी एड्रेसिंग एवरीथिंग, so that by end of December or end of January we shall be writing some qualitatively very good answers. That's all from my side. Hope you write regularly, you put in efforts, and you benefit from daily answer writing and mentorship program for UPSC CSE 2024 for political science and international relations. Thank you.